Hello, everybody. Welcome to... No, it's the 100th episode. We got to be fucking...
This is the biggest episode that we're probably going to have in a hot minute.
Ever.
Ever. Sorry, 200. You're already on the downgrade.
Dong. Who does?
The 100th episode does.
The 100th episode Dong?
Yeah. He's got giant dong.
Oh.
What?
Dong of the Dead instead of Dawn of the Dead?
Oh my god, that's got to be the porn parody of it, right? That's got to already exist. It's too good of a name to not exist.
It must exist. I can't see...
Schlong of the Dead?
Yeah, Schlong of the Dead.
Ooh.
Dick Encounters of the...
Oh my god.
Kind.
That sounds pretty hot.
Oh my god. Well, I have a lot of crazy fun movie ideas because today... we have on a very special guest, and he's going to be joining in like 15 minutes. So.
It's somebody that we hold near and dear to our hearts because their movies are awesome.
Are like beyond the best thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, in all honesty, they're really charming. They're funny. They have a horror element to them, some of them, but they're just really fun to watch.
Yeah, it's a fun horror comedy mix, and it's something you don't normally like see in the industry. So,
no.
Maybe we...
Unless it's by the Wayans brothers.
The
What?
Wayans.
What's wrong with the Wayans brothers? They make scary movies. Those movies are good.
I feel like there's a different element when it comes to... Oh, so today, we're going to be talking to Chris Seaver of Warlock Films and Low Production or Low Budget Productions, LBP.
So this is very exciting. Oh my god, I don't know how I'm going to contain myself. It's going to be like Starstruck.
I know.
Fuck.
I feel the same because I'm like super excited to talk to Chris. I've seen now also a documentary. So our exposure to his films were... Did you find it first?
Apparently. Well, back in the day, I didn't even realize that the first film I've seen by him was Taint Light.
Yeah.
And that was a play on Twilight. And it was really good. And it was on Netflix back in the day. It was really funny.
Yeah. From my understanding, a lot of people didn't understand what the film was supposed to be. So I'd love to talk to him about that, too, and kind of see his thoughts on...
I don't know. That's crazy. I feel like it's clear what the movie is. It's a spoof. It's a parody.
Yeah, a low-budget spoof that's like supposed to be fun and enjoyable.
I don't know. It fooled me. I thought it was a pretty decent quality for a movie, especially... It was early Netflix, so for them to be on there, I feel like that's pretty significant.
I know. And then we ended up finding Terror at Blood Fart Lake.
Oh my god, that was the best find ever. That movie was gold.
And that was it. We were like hooked. We were like, oh my god.
Then we watched Weirdsies.
Because it was one of those things, like you find it and you're like, I need to see more of this immediately. And yeah, we watched Return to Blood Fart Lake first, and then we watched the Weirdsies. Arguably, the Weirdsies was like the best, so good.
Yeah, I really am wondering if that was really a big play on Stand By Me. Because it gave hardcore Stand By Me vibes.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't checked out any of his films, feel free to check them out. And we're also going to be talking, he has a new production coming out.
Which hopefully he gets funded for, because that would be awesome.
Yeah, so this early part of the podcast will be us absolutely gassing him up, and then when he joins, we'll be doing that again. And then we'll be talking about all of his stuff. Because the thing is, like, me and Matt, we've come from a background where we've done, like...
low-budget movies, zero budgets.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, I wish we did it to, like, that Chris Seaver extent.
Yeah, like, oh no, I mean,
have fun with it.
Yeah, his are really good. Like, just something about it's got a magic to it. Whereas I don't know, I feel like we were trying a little too serious, and that's where the comedy comes in, because it's us being tryhards.
100%.
Yeah,
we worked like my brother worked on a film, a Batman fan film, and then I worked on a Robin fan film, and like. His Batman fan film was years of our lives. Like, I grow up and my whole face changes and everything.
Yeah, it spanned a long time.
Yeah, and then the Robin movie was like its own weird monster. So, but it's like...
Did you say there was a Robin movie?
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
I remember the Batman.
Yeah, I remember the Batman clear as day.
It was those a Robin movie. Robin Spoiled. It was... yeah.
Huh.
I remember, like Matt, I remember the Batman movie.
Because Batman movie's still up. The Batman movie's still up. The Robin movie's...
Damn.
The Robin movie's deleted from history.
Damn, what the hell?
The Robin movie's fun, though. We had, like... the penguin. I fought the penguin. We had like some fun fight scenes and stuff. But yeah, it was all about like Robin growing into his own footing.
Wow, nice.
After
Batman, Robin does. Hopefully, he does. I don't know. I can't talk. I can't speak on behalf
Robin's got
of
a
Robin.
giant dong.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
since
got a
you played
giant
Robin, I
dong.
gotta say you definitely do.
I appreciate that.
So,
but
your Robin portrays the king of dongs.
no, I'm not the king. I can never, nor will I ever take on the crown of king of dongs. It's just an unreal expectation that I can't.
From what I've seen, I gotta say,
You're the king of dongs, dude.
Well,
Yeah. So, there's actually even a Wonder Girl. Oh, Chris!
oh my god.
Fantastic. Connecting to audio.
Hey, what's going on, Chris?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Fantastic.
Your room is awesome. That room is sick.
Thank you so much for coming
this
on.
is awesome.
Yeah.
We're like fanboying out here.
Yeah. Oh my god, we love your movies.
Sure. Whatever.
Yeah. The funniest thing is like when I first messaged you, you're like, "Oh, thanks for liking my crap." I was like,
Oh my
"What?
God.
That's a, you? No, it's like
No.
it's such a fun ride to watch all the
Yeah, oh
different
my
projects and movies and see like the energy and then like you, it's fun passion.
Yeah.
And it's just like such a ride all around.
It's something.
So. Do you personally? So, do you actually view them as crap, or do you like?
I mean, I'm well aware of what I'm doing. I grew up loving trash. I own a lot of trash still to this day. It's just something that appeals to me. I like B movies. I like true micro budget independent stuff. So. I like to call it high garbage because it's
There you go.
it's smarter than your average trash indie film. It's funnier, I think, than most.
I agree.
But it's also still trash. So I know. I don't know. Yeah, it's high garbage.
Yeah, I think it's different when you have an indie movie that's just bad, and then one that's like embracing and having fun with the project, and that's what at least that's what it comes off as a viewer when we're watching
your movies
it.
are charming. They're funny, hilarious. We love the humor in it because we've grown up with that type of humor for years. So seeing your movies has been amazing. All of them.
Sweet.
So,
Awesome.
yeah, so I think the first one that we watched together was Terra
Blood Fart Lake.
Yep. So we watched it, and I think it starts as an element of like, I guess if you've seen like Lamageddon, where it's this element of, okay, is it cheesy funny? Is it embracing that weirdness? And once you like understand the tone, we were cackling the whole time, like having so much fun watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And then more importantly, we're like, everyone making this movie is having fun.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. We were. Well, we had a blast making that movie. I wish that I would assume that you saw it on Tubi. Yeah, I wish that people were seeing like the actual good version of the film, like the HD version of the film, like the company that owns the movie for some reason, and they have an HD version of the fucking movie. We made this movie in 2008 and we shot it in HD. We shot it. It looked beautiful, but the company that owns the film, even when it came out on DVD, they put it out in pan and scan. They I don't know. It was almost like completely compressed and downgraded. It looks terrible. And so the version that's out there on Tubi looks worse than the actual movie.
Oh, no.
Wow, that's crazy. I would do anything to watch the HD version.
I'm the only person who has an HD version of the film.
Oh, my God.
And so sometimes I offer it to fans who have seen it, and I'll just be like, listen, I'll mail you this, like, because this is what it actually looks like. And to this day, that company still hasn't really changed anything. They wouldn't even put out a Blu-ray for like when the anniversary was happening. I don't know.
That's very
Nuts.
interesting.
Jeez,
yeah,
yeah.
I wonder why you'd want to release any other version of it other than the one that's like, hey, this is the one that you should be putting out. That's strange.
Because that company doesn't care about anything other than quantity. It just wants to out there and move along and keep they don't care about
quantity over quality.
Yeah, they don't really care about, regardless of what the movie is, which is garbage, but they'd be behind that garbage, and they were not behind the garbage. It's just it's a number to them. It's like, okay, how many units can we get out there?
Yeah.
Just...
So, just in case anyone who's watching us doesn't know who you are, can you just introduce yourself and what you do?
Yeah, I'm Chris Seaver, and I make micro budget, no budget comedy horror films, and have for 33 years now. Just really silly, over the top, cheesy, ridiculous, offensive, weird comedy horror films. So,
and I think depending on who you are, some people might not have a taste for it, but if you do, what would you recommend someone who doesn't know anything about your films? Which film would you recommend to them first? The entryway.
It's tough because you also have to be a person who is open-minded to these types of films and the quality of these films. Not everybody can stand SOV horror. They can't stand shot on video anything, and don't quite get it. It's not a real movie to them. It's there's a stigma behind SOV horror. So really, you have to have a wide open mind. First and foremost, to accept the quality of what you're watching. The other stuff is the magical discovery, because it can be, you got to give these movies 10 minutes. And I understand that. And that's why, for the most part, my movies are gag after gag after gag, joke after joke after joke. It's cheese after cheese after cheese. It's gotta hook you quick. Or else someone's gonna turn it off. And but Terror at Bloodfire Lake is good. That seems to be very popular. Again, we shot that in 2008, but it's found an audience thanks to streaming. And there was no streaming then. It was just, it was just on physical. It was just on DVD when that first came out. But thanks to the streaming, and we've definitely gotten newer fans and a much a different audience, a younger audience, thanks to streaming. But Bloodfire Lake, I enjoy. I've made 65 films, and I think I like 12 of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was about to ask, because some creators, they feel like they can't rewatch their work, but I feel like you've created these films a lot of the time with a group of friends, right? So do you and that group find yourselves revisiting and rewatching them?
No. There's a couple flicks that we will rewatch, and that's just because there's a few of us within the group that find them just wholly stupid, and we cannot help but laugh and we watch it. And that's not everybody in the group. There's a whole bunch of there's a movie called Stoinky Beach that we did that maybe 5 of us think is one of the most hilarious films we've ever done, and the rest of us can't stand it. But that 5 we'll watch it every year.
That's awesome.
Because
cool.
We think it's just so stupid, and when we made it, we knew it was just going to be the dumbest piece of shit. And we have a ball watching that over and over again. But I mean, I love Sex Squatch a lot. and we had a great time making that. There's a movie called The Weirdsies.
That one was
Love
awesome.
the Weirdsies. Yeah,
It had a strong vibe of Stand By Me.
Oh yeah,
which was
yeah. I mean, that's what it was a.
with the losing the virginity with the court.
yeah. You got to get there quick.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
I like Geek War. I like Phantom of the Grindhouse. Yeah, there's a movie we did called Evil Night, which is like a remake of a 1992 shot-on-video horror movie. But it's Chris Seaver. It's my version of it, and that's super fun. Yeah, I can recommend more, but again, it's all over the place. Tastes are
exactly. It all depends on the person's taste, big time.
Yeah, I always say like one man's poop is another man's chocolatey goodness. And sometimes with my
the same time.
You either love my stuff or you hate my stuff. There's not a lot of in between. So it takes a special brain to enjoy the smart stupidity of a Chris Seaver movie.
So you have a lot of creative names too with these movies and projects. Is it something that like the name will come first and then you think, oh, that's a fun project for a movie? Or sometimes it's like we have the film, what do we call it?
It's usually the name, and some of the titles were simply eye catchers. That's why they're called that, like the
Anal Paprika.
The Anal Paprika trilogy.
Yes.
It's just an eye catcher. It has not. The movies, they have nothing to do with that title. Scrotal Vengeance. Again, doesn't have anything to do.
I fucking love it. It's so funny.
It's just to get that eye to look at it. To like, oh, what the fuck is this thing? And then it can go from there. I mean, it's not as much like that anymore. Now it's like a very. I sort of have an idea of the type of movie that I want, and then I'll just scribble down names and titles, and I'll pick the one that just sort of fits,
Yeah, and a lot of the films are that like that horror comedy mesh. Is there something that like brought you directly into finding that niche?
I mean, growing up, it's the two types of films that really shaped me, as horror and comedy at a very young age. And it, I don't know if you guys have seen the documentary that was made about me.
Yeah.
But I sort of go through that history of being very young, my mom and my uncles letting me see a lot of stuff, exposing me to a lot of stuff. Monty Python and the Zucker brothers, Airplane and those films and shit like and the horror, Nightmare on Elm Street and all that stuff. So it's just who I guess I was as a kid. I was just a very weird and funny, and I was the center of attention, and I wanted to like make people laugh, but gross people out. And so I think that's just, those are the things that I loved. And like, I could never, even then, obviously, when I was a kid, I wasn't making serious films. It was always backyard horror movies with Freddy and Jason things, and with like funny bits with me and the neighborhood kids, but it wasn't until 1989 when I rented The Toxic Avenger and Bad Taste. And Bad Taste is Peter Jackson's first film. And that double feature was like a slap in the face and taint. It was just so like, oh my God, like this is the type of stuff, and I had already been, I loved Evil Dead 2 and things like that, Night of the Creeps and that type of stuff. But this was the absurd comedy that I loved from like Monty Python and Zuckers mixed with like horror. And that was what really appealed to me. So those two movies I always cite as like, okay, this is exactly what I want to do going forward, is this type of thing, because I'll never be a serious filmmaker. I never will be, and I never want to be. This was my wheelhouse. This was great. And so, yeah, thank you, Lloyd Kaufman and Peter Jackson.
I personally think that you're like a creative genius.
Yeah.
Like, just I know.
We've seen some Hollywood movies that really aren't anywhere near as interesting as a lot of your movies.
Yeah,
so that says a lot.
The pure creativity and stuff that you see on screen and the constant gags and jokes and it's like, oh well, it's born in your mind first before it shows up on the paper and before it's filmed. So just from that aspect, it's like one creative motherfucker,
Yeah. Oh my God.
Thank you.
So
Appreciate that.
No, of course. And you're still making projects today. So you're making Wellsville Nights, right?
Yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about that project?
So Wellsville Nights is my version of a 1980s and early 90s teen soap opera. So it's poking fun at shows like Degrassi Junior High and 15, and there was a show called Swan's Crossing, and then I guess I throw this in there, but it's really not the type of soap opera that I'm poking fun at. But 90210, I guess, only in the fact that like it had like teenagers dealing with like very serious issues, but that felt a little more glossy in Hollywood compared to Degrassi Junior High and 15 and those types of shows. Still very serious, but it was so over dramatic and silly, and it was like none of these kids were having any sort of fun or joy in their life. Every episode was like just filled with nonstop angst and horror for a teenager, and like just bullshit that I, as a teen, was certainly not seeing this or dealing with this growing up.
That's the same thing with that one
Euphoria.
show. Yeah, Euphoria.
I'm like, this is people's high school.
Yeah, no.
I don't know, but I know, I know that the subject matter is ridiculous for that show. But so, and I always sort of, I actually genuinely love Degrassi Junior High. So I grew up with that. Like in our health class, it would wheel in the TV and show episodes of Degrassi Junior High.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's so funny.
Because it played on PBS back in the day.
Whoa.
And so I did like that show, but I still knew that I was always just like, man, like these Canadian kids are going through some shit. Like, like, what is going on? This ain't my high school, like, fuck. But,
travel.
Yeah, oh my God, with Drake.
Yeah, Drake too. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was the next generation.
The later.
Yeah.
But really, this show pokes fun at a show primarily called 15. 15 was another Canadian show that aired on Nickelodeon for 4 years, and it was Ryan Reynolds' first thing.
Whoa.
And holy shit, it is an abomination. Like it, but so goddamn funny. It is so, because it is so serious and just wow, just a downer. And it was shot on tape, like sitcoms were.
Yeah.
It was shot to tape and stark lighting and everything, and it was obviously just 3 sets that these people would move through. But holy shit, is it hilarious. And I was like, man, I want to make a show like this, but with 30 and 40 somethings playing these 15-year-olds, still as serious as possible.
Yeah.
But with my absurd writing and themes, and throwing horror into the mix as well.
That's awesome. I'm so excited to see.
Dark Shadows. It was the soap opera in the 60s and 70s. And if there was a mistake, it was in, because those shows were shot to tape live that way. So if you saw a boom, the boom was there. I mean, that was it. The boom was there. You saw tombstones falling over, and that's how it was. And so I want to keep that vibe going with Wellsville Nights. And, so during the pandemic, I got together with a couple of the gang and fleshed out a 4-season arc for the show.
Wow.
9th grade through 12th grade. We know everything that happens. All the characters are mapped out. The first season is written, and we were able to shoot the pilot in 2022.
That's awesome.
And then we were going to sort of move full steam ahead in 2023 with more episodes, but I got a feature with my old boss from Tempe Entertainment, J.R. Bookwalter, and so we shot the feature, my newest feature last year.
Yeah.
Feature's done. That's going through post and all that stuff. And so now it's back on the Wellsville Nights train and trying to raise money for the season 1. It's only 8 episodes for each season.
Okay.
But, we hope to be shooting in the summer. At least, it hasn't been going well. And quite frankly, anytime that I personally have done crowdfundings, they've always failed. They've always kind of,
it happens,
destroyed, which is odd. I'll see these other independent film dudes who, nobody really knows, but they'll make like 20, 50, 60 grand with their shit. And it's tough making $5,000 for us, for our stuff. And we've been around forever.
That's the thing that we admire as well about you and your creativity, is that doesn't stop you from making things.
No, and we don't do that every time. The crowdfunding thing. I personally don't like crowdfunding. There's just something really weird and off about the whole thing, and I just don't.
Yeah.
We've been lucky enough to make a shit ton of movies for different distribution companies throughout the years, but when we don't have those companies behind us to foot the bill,
100%. Yeah, that makes sense.
The fans who are able to give us the money to make these movies. Like, so many of my films have been funded strictly just from fans. And that's not a crowdfunding thing at all. It's just, there's a certain amount of fans who are just like, oh, you need this? Okay, we'll put it in and we'll help you get there. Why they're not doing it for this, I don't know. It might be the subject matter. It might be like completely something that they just don't want. They don't.
I think it sounds really fun. And if anyone's watching this and then they like what we've been talking about, or they want to check out the campaign, definitely do check it out and consider funding or backing, because I genuinely think it's going to be a really fun project too. And I'm excited to just watch it. So definitely consider it, because these projects, it's like, I don't know, it's so charming. I can't fucking explain it any other way. It's fun.
Very niche. I get it. It's a very unique and odd thing. Like, who the fuck cares about this type of thing? You know what I mean? Unless you're my age, unless you're 47 and sort of grew up with those shows.
Yeah. We're here. We enjoy it.
You know?
We got people in the back that enjoy it. We have our friends that we were watching the films with. They enjoy it. So we're out here. We're liking it. And
I just think it is a very odd thing. It's like, oh, it's a teen soap opera with a bunch of 40-somethings playing 15.
Yeah, it's not different from a lot of movies. Especially, what was that musical that had...
was it Emo the Musical? You mean?
No, well, that one did also have people that were like 30s. But there was that big motion picture that was based off of the musical with that guy from the play that's like 50 years old.
The Dear Evan Hansen.
Yes.
Yeah, where the guy was definitely past the high school age and still...
Oh, yeah, still
kicking.
Yep.
So, you've made so many projects and they're all independent, and it must be hard to get everyone together to film projects like that. So what is the quickest you've ever had to like throw something together, get everyone together and shoot?
I don't know. In general, we shoot these movies in 2 to 3 days.
Oh, wow.
The longest we've ever had was a 5-day shoot.
Damn.
We just did last summer.
Wow.
But usually it's 2 to 3 days, and it's not recommended. It's just how it's how we sort of rolled into it. Because I'm very particular with my gang. It's sort of their schedules facilitated the schedules of the shooting. You know what I mean? So,
okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Like, hey, we can be there a total of 5 days, or say like 7 days, but that's 1 day getting in, 1 day leaving. You know what I mean? So like most of the time it would be, oh, okay, we're coming in on Thursday. We got to leave on Monday or Sunday night. So we've got Friday, Saturday, and maybe a little bit of Sunday morning to shoot. And then they're gone.
Wow.
Because none of them are actors. None of them, they're just my buddies, and they all have lives. But, and that's another unfortunate thing about it is that, as I've said in the doc, these people are my extended family. I love these people. They've been with me, some of them now for over 20 years. But they're scattered all around the country. So it's like, I sort of put a project together, and then I put out the bat signal, really. I say, okay, who from the gang can do it?
Yeah.
And I'll get the feedback, and I'll say, okay, then I'm writing for these specific people, and this is what it's going to be. And that's how a project really comes together. But I guess the fastest, I don't know. Like there's two that come to mind. Like we did in 2008, we did a movie called Ski Wolf, and from me laughing about it and coming up with the idea at work and then shooting it, it was a month.
Wow. That's impressive. That's impressive.
Then we did a movie, but this was a different circumstance. Then we did a movie called Death-O-Lantern, which is a throwback shot on VHS horror movie. That came together quick. Shit. I mean, I did low budget pictures for 20 years. Stopped low budget pictures in 2011, and then immediately started up Warlock Home Video. After starting Warlock Home Video, we shot Diebecue, Death-O-Lantern, and Happy Holidays all back to back to back.
Wow.
But Death-O-Lantern was so quick that we shot it, we edited it, And then a week later, we were selling it at a convention in Ohio. That probably came together in like 3 weeks, you know?
Mm.
Yeah, that reminds me of like the South Park production of like the animation.
3 days through.
Yeah, like
what's it? 3 days to air or something like that.
100%. It's like that quick. Okay, here's the concept. Here's the thing. We want to stay relevant with the ideas. Let's pump it out and do that stuff.
Yeah.
How many times have you guys had the police called on you?
Once, and it's talked about in the documentary. We were in 2006. We were making a movie called House on Bonejack Hill, and one of our members, one of the gang, said that we had permission to shoot at this house. She was lying out of her fucking face. We did not have permission to shoot at this house. And the sons of the people who own the place showed up, and there's this group of people in this mansion shooting all this weird shit. We've got like swords and, you know, all this weird shit, and and they flipped the fuck out, and they called the cops, and cops came, and, you know, it ruined shooting for most of that day. It, you know, we could have given up altogether. But about 8 hours later, we ended up shooting the rest of the movie in a different.
That's crazy. That's impressive. We were making, like, my brother was making a Batman film when we were like kids, and for like 5 years he was making this movie. And there was one time we also got the cops called on us. We're walking down the street, my brother's dressed up as Batman. You have like 5 people dressed up as ninjas, and the police roll up to us, and the first thing they say is, "Hey, why are you guys dressed up as a bunch of gay pirates?" And we're like, we're filming a student film. This is please let us go. And they're like, all right, and those weapons you have, we're like, they're fake, they're plastic, we're bending them. They're like, okay, go. But it's so funny. That's why I figured it. I was like, the amount of films, I thought it'd be like at least 5 times that the cops are rolling up being like, what the hell's going on?
I guess like early on, like in the early 90s, at the beginning of low budget pictures, like, you know, we were shooting in my hometown of Wellsville. We were shooting in this abandoned, like, big ass factory that's sort of in the middle of our town. And we had like plastic guns and, you know, shit that clearly did not look real. And there was one fucking dude who like called the cops on us. The state trooper came, and then the state trooper was like, "Oh, it's you guys," because like we would shoot movies all over town, and nobody gave a shit. Like, they let us shoot all over the place. So the cops were just like, "Oh, it's Chris Seaver and those guys making movies," you know, like nothing happened. You know? So we've been lucky that way. We've never really had any issues at all.
That's good. So we got to start wrapping up a little bit, just because the stupid Zoom meeting is timing us out at 40 again. But if you could have like one project, an unlimited budget, like whatever you wanted to happen on this project, like what would be your dream crazy project?
Man, I don't know. I don't know what I would, we always joke that like, man, what if you got $1 million to make a movie? Yeah. I'd be like, well, we'd make 1 million movies, you know. that $1 million would keep us making a lot of movies for a long time.
Sex Squatch in space.
Yeah, oh my god.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a movie that one of the members, Clint and I wrote in 2015 called Treat or Trick, and it's a fucking great script, and it'll never get made unless there is a real budget. So, I would make that, but it's never going to get made. So, but boy, if we had the money, we would.
Hey, never say never. You never know.
I don't know, man. I ain't getting any younger. Yeah.
You ever think about doing like any other kind of project, like any kind of cartoon animation or something like that too?
I mean, if somebody came to us and said, "Hey, I'm an animator. I would love to make a animated Chris Seaver project," I'd fucking do it. Hell yeah.
Hey, I'm an animator, and I would love to make an animated Chris Seaver project.
It would be very fun. You know, my cousin Casey, who plays Teen Ape in all the movies, he is a comic book creator and writer. So he does his own comic books, and he's year after year, he's like, "Chris, come on, let's do a fucking Teen Ape comic book. Let's do, you know, characters from your movies. Let's do a comic book world." And I'm just like, man, I'm so stubborn. I'm just like, but movies are my thing. And then that's my thing, man. That's my gig, you know? I just feel like I would be wasting time
Makes sense. Yeah.
writing a comic book when I could be writing a movie and shooting a movie.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean? But never say never.
So, any closing thoughts or anything you want to shout out, promote, or talk about before we start closing out?
You know, I guess just give the little guys a shot. You know, check out like no budget, micro budget shit. You might be surprised. It's, you know, it's a crapshoot, but you got 50-50 there, folks. It could be garbage, but it could be that chocolatey goodness. You know, it could be something and really enjoy. And then, you know, to aspiring filmmakers, it's just like, fucking do it. And don't worry about being Mr., you know, top quality filmmaker. That's not how it goes, man. You just, if you've got an idea and you're passionate about it and it's not about money, it's just 100% about you wanting to get your vision on a screen, then make it happen. You can make it happen. It's so easy.
I mean, amen to that. Like we've been doing this for a long time of like doing podcasts, doing cartoons, making games and stuff. And we don't, no budget. Like we're just having fun. We're enjoying the craft. And if it picks up, someone sees it, they see it. If they don't, they don't. So, you inspire us through that too. So we really do appreciate you coming on. We've had a fantastic talk with you. And if you ever need extras or anything in a film, we're in New York. We'll make the trip. So, and we really do appreciate you coming on.
You want to play 15-year-olds, you know?
Yeah, let's do it. We'll play
actors in high school, you know, in the 80s.
Let's do it. But yeah, definitely.
Break out the fanny packs.
Yeah, break out. Thank you so much again. We really do appreciate having you on. And guys, once again, if you get the chance, please check out, you know, all the stuff that the productions. We'll put some links in the description. We'll put the link to the project as well, the Indiegogo. And once again, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Awesome.
Have a good one. Take care.
Oh,
there you go. That was awesome.
Yeah,
that was a lot of
sweet
fun.
Guy.
Yeah, he's so sweet. I love him. That was awesome.
Yeah, damn.
So, guys, like we said, thank you so much for watching this episode. Hopefully, it was a fun 100th.
Please watch Chris Seaver's movies. They're awesome. Especially if you like watching our stuff, then damn, you'll really enjoy Chris Seaver's stuff.
Especially if you like Richard Schmeggleton.
Oh, my God. Yeah. And if you got a couple of bucks, please throw it towards the GoFundMe for Chris Seaver's new show, so that way we could see it.
Yeah, I want to see it real bad. So, guys, thank you so much. Hopefully, you had a fun time with the 100th episode. A lot more fun things in store that we haven't. I have an idea of getting a breathalyzer and doing a who gets to 0.08 the quickest.
You know what? I used to have a little breathalyzer on me, but the thing broke.
So, yeah, we'll get a new one.
We'll get a legit one.
And we have so many other fun ideas planned for the rest of the year. So stay tuned. Much love. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.
Bye.